Now we will move directly to the panel discussion. So I would like to invite Anand van Gerlecker with all these speakers. So please, Christophe and Deepak join us for the panel discussion, as well as Steven Morales de Medrano, who is also our INSEAD alumnus, and Michel Campin from Wellness Wave. Please give a round of applause for our panelists. You have the microphones, right?
So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the panel. Before I start getting 3, 4, 5 bells, how much time do we have? 20 minutes. Wow. All right, so for the two gentlemen who've just joined, perhaps I can ask you to introduce yourselves a little bit more detail. Please.
Hello, my name is Michel Campin. I'm founder and CEO of a startup into the experience field. I come from the luxury industry, from Hermès, L'Oréal Group, and Dior Couture. And I'm serial entrepreneur. It's my number 3 company I created. It's on that field, which is about creating a specific experience for people that want to reach themselves with sport, wellness, and discovering the world. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm Steve Morales, and I run the luxury division at Strategic Swiss Partners in Zurich, a company in the private equity space. And my job is to look for investments in the broad luxury sector. So that would be hotels, hotel developments. It would be private equity, usually early stage luxury brands. It could be art, it could be gemstones, and it could be classic cars. And we try to add a layer on top of what is maybe traditional private banking and investments is we try to blend 3 ideas, which is make money, provide somewhat of a dream and fantasy concept, and then provide something very exclusive that the client can't get by himself.
Fantastic. I hope you brought a lot of business cards with you. Okay. So, gentlemen, first of all, thank you very much for the 2 introductory speeches. I'd like to begin right at the very beginning. Both of you started, where did your brand start? So the history of the hotel, also how the genesis of what you came up with, and even though your investors laughed, you stuck to the origin. So let's begin with that. When we talk about where to take your brands in the future, how is the way that you use your DNA changing with the advent of all this new technology?
For IG and for Intercontinental brand, particularly, very quickly, our group is called IG. We have about 5,500 hotels around the world with 11 different brands, and one of these brands is Intercontinental, and Intercontinental was created. We have 200 hotels, and it was created in 1946 by Pan Am, just to go back a little bit on history. And I'm explaining that because today, for us, the future in terms of taking the brand forward, it's about the DNA of Intercontinental and why it was created and how it was created. And it is very important today in a world of luxury that we have a reference to this past. And we look today at different brands like Gucci or Hermès or any other. We can see that in terms of design, they go back to what was done some decade ago. So it's really much about the foundation of the brand, reaffirming that, and obviously mixing with everything which is related to the new technology, whether it is around the distribution, which make us more efficient in terms of profitability, because we need to make sure that our hotel rooms are full, and obviously about the guest experience, anything related to what they have and they found in their rooms in terms of technology. And we start with the TV, but there is all other technology that makes sure that the guest is having a very smooth experience as far as this is concerned.
So for us, we are going very simple way, because simplicity in this complex world has become a luxury. Now, I give you an example. I stayed in one of the hotels, and I didn't know how to start the shower. It took me 15 minutes, and I was very embarrassed because I didn't want to call the help, because they'll say, oh, he's the CEO of a hotel. He doesn't know how the shower works. So for me, who travels a lot, stays in hotel, didn't know how the shower would work. So at our place, we are going very, very simple, whether it's food and beverage or whether it's hotel. And the more complex the world is becoming, the more simpler route we are taking. So it's very difficult. It's not easy. And the reason it's difficult is not because of the customers. Customers appreciate. But our team members who come from these big schools and other things, they say, oh, I've studied this, I've studied that, I've done this, I've done that. My professor told me that. And you're telling me just to do simple things. So that's why we are surviving in this complex world, because we are going simpler.
Okay, so essentially what you're saying is, in a sense, your DNA is that simplicity right from the very beginning and then taken to the limit.
The most difficult is the simplicity, and I always have the same problem with you to try where to open the light, etc. We are a startup, so we don't come from the past, etc. But what is important when you look where the new generation of luxury clients, what they are looking for traveling around the world to discover fantastic place, fantastic hotel, and then more and more want to take care of themselves. They more and more want to have an exclusive and inclusive experience where they take care of themselves, where there's private station, where they meet people, they meet stars, they meet networking. They want things that are completely incredible. In the world, there's more and more rich people that can offer a lot of bags, a lot of things from Hermes, from many brands. And right now, what is the key of luxury is what you said, I completely agree, the simplicity, and to create experiences that are unique. As a professional, I worked for Hermes for many years, and for Mr. Jean-Louis Dumas was really an incredible person, and Mr. Dumas was obsessed with this question of uniqueness. When you create a brand, when you create an experience, you want to have something that is for you, designed for you, think for you, and not for the other. Donc, it's why we to imagine experiences that are really dedicated for our clients, and that are really something that when they stop the experience, when it's finished, they really say, wow, it was the best week of my life.
So let's move on then to experiences. You're working with a lot of startups as well, and you're investing. Are you looking for sort of the idea of, is there a heritage which I can invest in and expand on, because now I'm going to put more money into the furnace, as it were? Or are you seeing sort of unique experiences which are profoundly simple, or is it a balance of the two? What are you seeing that's now emerging?
What we see is that early stage luxury brands are having problems with the idea of tradition. Right, and I think Jean-Claude said that if you don't have tradition, you're in trouble in the luxury space. So they're fighting with this barrier. But what I notice is that their ability to jump over this barrier is very much related to their ability to scale their business. So if they can use disruptive technology to develop something that is just globally relevant, then they skip over the tradition and I think they get over the barrier.
Okay, so let's build on that. Can I see a show of hands? How many of you came into this room and took a picture of the ceiling? Okay, how many of you posted it within a couple of minutes? Okay, so a typical example, people come to, quote, a luxury experience. They want to take a photograph of it, they want to Instagram it, and so on and so forth. Yet I was fascinated that you said, I think 70% you ban photography. Let me build on that, because I would suggest that for everyone participating in a luxury experience, because it's unique, in whatever way, simplicity, you can't afford it, you're traveling, whatever it may be. It's such a unique experience that you want to capture it. On the other hand, you're suggesting that it's a unique experience because you don't allow that capture. Can you build on that a little bit?
So the reason in our business sometimes it's very important to say no. Because everyone at every point of time is saying yes. And saying no is also a part of the experience. Okay, and people won't understand because till the time they do not sit and experience the meal and suddenly get interrupted by the flash, that is where the experience gets interrupted or get disturbed. So that's the reason we do not allow those photographs at 70% of the locations to be taken. We do provide 30% of the location where the guest privacy is maintained, where they can take the photographs.
Okay, so let's take a little bit further. The idea that the customer, you've said no, so the customer is not always right. Is
Customer is like a baby.
The customer is like a baby.
Yes,
I think
only
we
the
have
mother
I think we have a
knows.
quote. For,
Only the mother knows when to give milk or when to give the water.
Right. Not quite sure where to take that one, but okay. All right, so now let's build on that. But in building an experience, we're talking about creating a luxury experience now. All of you work very hard with your teams to curate something like this, build on the DNA or find a simplicity, to curate something which somebody is willing to pay time and effort more than they usually would. To what extent then is the customer told what to do, as opposed to coming in, letting them take photographs, let them dress the way they wish, etc., etc.?
The question is not to that clients are baby. We need to provide them with a vision of something. When they come to one of our cruise, it's 1 week. They are with their family. They want to have nice time and to enjoy the family. Of course, it's with a telephone doing plenty of pictures over time. It's not a good experience. Donc we ask them to keep that on their room and not to etc. But we provide them a photographer that create incredible picture of very high level. And after the cruise, we do 2 weeks after the cruise, we do after cruise. We go to their family to offer them a very big book, very big book with all the experience, etc., etc. Donc like that, they have a souvenir of what they experiment, but they were not all the time doing like little Instagram picture, etc., etc. Donc the thing is to listen to them. Right now we are on the digital age. Donc right now the picture is a necessity. It's part of their life for you, for me, for everybody. But how to make it beautiful? How to make it beautiful and to keep the peace and the beautifulness of the experience.
So what you're saying is you accept the idea, the need to capture it, but you're making it a part of curated experience by taking the photographs, applying the book.
Or you have your private photograph that comes with you. If you don't want to have picture, you don't have. You ask him. But if you want picture with your wife, he take a fantastic picture. He can give you a picture for your social network after. But it's high-level picture. It's not like. I'm not a good photographer, and when I do my picture with my iPhone or from my phone, it's not the same quality than a professional photographer, of course.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I'm sure your concierge will have some very interesting stories to tell, but nevertheless, from a hotelier's point of view, how important is it to provide milk for the baby or to let the customer do what they wish?
Milk or Dom Pérignon. I think the comment and the remark and the experience of Deepak is very interesting, but he is very fortunate because he has an hotel and he has a shoot of a movie that was seen by millions of people. So you can do some good marketing out of it, and the marketing point will be you don't take a picture, only the movie star take a picture from my roof. So that can be something very interesting, and it's very good for us. My generation, I'm going to turn 54 in a couple of days. My generation is that we were raised in a hotel school where you were taught that the client est roi. The client is king. So we have to make sure that everything that we do is for our client, is for their delight, for their pleasure. And there is a frame which is the respect, the ethics, the values, and obviously as a guest or no guest or whatever, as a human being, you don't go out of this frame. So we like to give champagne to our guests. There is only champagne and no water and no milk, and we make sure that we make them happy. In the luxury definition for us, it's a very simple sentence: is they think about it, so I don't have to. So we use a lot of empathy. We use a lot of engagement. It's about, our business is about emotional intelligence. And we have the friends from INSEAD to make sure that the numbers are looked after and the profitability is raising. But when it comes to our luxury world and our business, it's about engagement, it's about empathy. So putting ourselves into the guest's shoes and just thinking, what will surprise my guest? What will surprise his experience? Whether it is for a coffee in the bar or it is just entering this room and say, wow, I never thought about that room existing in an hotel. I thought it was in the Palais de Versailles or it was in a castle, but never in a hotel. So please come in and take as many pictures as you want. So this is for us the definition of the luxury. This is an example, but you can just put that into the frame of the whole experience of a guest. And we are very fortunate because you work for Hermès, and if I may talk about someone as well, you talk about Mr. Dumas, but you have as well Bernard Arnault, who is the CEO of the famous LVMH. And Bernard Arnault is developing, as you know, his own hotel chain, and he's going to open soon the Cheval Blanc in La Samaritaine here in Paris. And he had a very good definition, and he said to his very close entourage, he said, I want to build an hotel and I want to have luxury in a hotel because this is the place where a guest can have many experiences in the same roof, much more than if you enter any shop and you buy a good. And in the world, you know that there is about 450 billions of goods of luxury that are sold, but there is 6 times more spending on experiences. So in our business and in an hotel, we have this possibility to touch the soul of our customer just with luxury experiences.
Please.
Thanks. So we work a little bit differently. We go and choose our customers very intelligently. And I'll give you one example. We have many. When we started the hotel, our occupancy of the hotel was 8%. Because we are along the river, and every hotel along the river is a branded hotel. They have a good distribution system. And we wanted to capture the Japanese ladies who travel in group, spend a lot of money on shopping and eating. And we did a small thing, and we got that whole 80% of these Japanese ladies who stay on the river today stay with us. And do you know why? The Japanese ladies never give their intimate clothing in laundry. They wash it themselves in a bathtub and they hang it on a cloth line. What we did was we put the washing machine and dryer in our hotel rooms and got the whole business because that became very easy for them. So we understand our customers. And if you see our menu design, because we have a lot of MBAs who work at the back end, our menu design for any restaurant is done, and we already know who we are catering to.
I'm learning so much from you right now. Okay, so let's build. I'm fascinated by the idea of 8 times the amount spent on experiences, and you're very clear on the way that you wish to curate those experiences and the way that you wish to or don't wish to manage the customer. You have technology companies coming to you, technology companies who say, we understand the customer because of social media, because of the channels, the platforms that we own. I suspect you also have consultants coming to you and saying, AI is the next big thing, blockchain is the next big thing, or whatever. Considering how carefully you curate your experiences, what would you like to see from these technology partners to aid in what you're doing, as opposed to merely making it a one-click version? What would you like to see?
For me, I come from digital. I'm a digital guy. And what I think that right now we are on an age where digital is for everybody because of that, because everybody uses, etc. And somewhere the technology, the good technology is the technology that you forget, that you don't see. Donc, for example, we use on our cruises, we use an application that we developed with a partner in San Francisco, which is a specific application to manage all the contact and all the exchange of a team with a client, and to have a completely zero technology experience. That means that I speak with you, I take a picture, I want to send, you see nothing, you have no impression, etc. My obsession is for technology to disappear from the experience.